Let's go around the table. What's fuck it. Normally I do like a little prompt before this, but let's just ask. What's everybody's body count? Starting with you. Go ahead.
I don't count that. I think it's immature.
Oh, so well, okay, fine. I will do a prompt. Do you object to men caring about a woman's body count? Do you think it's immature?
Yes.
You do object?
I object with everyone thinking that a body count is necessary.
Do you think body count does matter?
What do you mean necessary?
I just think it's immature.
I mean, okay. We'll come back to that, but let's go around the table, get everybody's answer. What about you? Do you object to men caring about a woman's body count?
No, they should. They absolutely should care about a woman's body count.
Okay. All right. Okay. What about you?
So yes, it does matter, and mine is 12.
Oh, okay. There you go. 12. Okay.
I won't answer the number part, but I think that where, like, I don't think it does matter in a way where it's like, because it matters to other people, it matters to me, you know, but I don't personally think there's anything wrong either way. But I know there are statistics that show, like, people have different ability to be in long-term relationships, and that's correlated to their body count, and that's true, you know, but that's also a statistic, and it's not a person.
Kiki?
Ew.
Okay.
My body count is 10, and in addition to that, I don't necessarily think it's the most important thing to, like, regard and everything, but I do think having an open conversation once in a while is fine, especially in a real relationship as opposed to a hookup.
Sure. Okay.
I get why people care.
Do you not care? Like, do you not care
no,
about a girl's
I
body
would
count?
like to say, like, oh, it's immature. I don't think it's necessary. But if I'm just honest with myself, like, I just don't want to know. Because I will judge it if I know it. So I would never ask a girl I'm dating of it.
I mean,
because
that's a fair
I just
point.
clearly do not want to know.
But wouldn't you rather take the red pill and know the truth? Because it's like that's.
But that's where jealousy
knowing can
comes
be
in,
troublesome, you know, because people do change and people
Give me the truth. I think give me the truth.
I know. Well, for most things I do. Most things I want the truth. I need the truth. I'm a big truth guy. I think for body counts, because one, I've been very reckless in my young life with it, and I spent a lot of my life being an alcoholic. So my body count is very high that I'm not proud of in hindsight.
No way.
And then also the people, I know that I might hypocritically put my judgments on the girl, so I just can't hear it. I can't hear it because I will judge it, so it's better to just not know, for me personally.
Dude, I just want to let you know, that is simp-like behavior.
What is?
It's really not. It's just maturity.
It is. It's really simp-like behavior.
Whenever you respect a woman,
I'm
they say
afraid
it's
that I will be judged, or in your particular case, you're saying, I don't want to know, because if I do know, I might take a negative outlook, right? But that's the whole point, is we want you to take a negative outlook based on that. And the fact that you don't is one of the big problems that we're having in society. That's the point.
Yeah. What problems? Because I think that body count is also not indicative of a person at all, because sometimes things happen.
Well, let me explain why
I can't
it's a problem,
change it.
To answer your question. The reason that it's a problem is because what it allows is it allows promiscuity to kind of operate unfettered. Okay, so what happens by men not producing judgment on women who are very loose women or have sex with many partners under the guise of I don't want to know, it actually encourages women to do this behavior because they feel like there'll be no societal or social repercussions. That's the problem.
I don't think that everyone should just, like, have sex all the time with whoever all the time. Like, I think that can be dangerous for a person. But also, I think it needs to be considered that
that has nothing to do with what I just said. Can you answer to what I just said?
What
I was going.
So what I said specifically is that the reason this is such a problem is because if you don't use the shame tactic for women in society for being highly promiscuous, then what ends up happening is it creates an open license for them to be highly promiscuous, because the way that they operate in society is based heavily around judgment. So women tend to trend towards what society judges as being appropriate or inappropriate. So if they think this is appropriate and there's no repercussions, they'll do it. And that's exactly the trend we see right now. Can you answer to that?
Jesus Christ, this guy's got a hard line.
Where we disagree is that there's a difference between thinking that promiscuity is appropriate, or that promiscuity is okay, and a body count being okay. Because a body count is history.
it's
promiscuity.
proxy for promiscuity.
That's
yeah,
exactly
that is.
it.
Let me
What do
finish.
you mean? History
Can I
of
finish
being
one?
promiscuous.
Okay, go ahead. Finish your point.
Not everyone gets to choose their body count.
What?
True.
What does that
What?
mean?
she's-
It means
What in the
people
world
get-
does that mean?
I know what
I
you're
wasn't gonna
saying.
say it,
I know what you're saying.
I don't.
The reality is though, women who have high body counts, it's not typically because the hundreds. Say a girl's been with 100 men.
Okay.
Her body count's 100. What percentage would you attribute that to? And I know what you're getting at, to SA.
It's not even
One, maybe?
necessarily that. But
Also, I
there's
don't think you would
also-
count that as a body, to be
I don't think
honest.
so either.
I don't
that's
even
not-
think that that's where she was going.
Also, when it comes to body count, let's just even remove that off the table. Consensual body count. Let's say that.
There's like a kind of a line though, because like while men want to judge a body count, they're also going to be really quick to try to get any women in their vicinity to hook up with them. And like if a woman says no the first time and then like gets pressured a little bit and a little bit more, that happens with most.
Oh,
Men
I
I
see.
talked
So
to.
women don't have agency. I got it.
That's
Yeah,
not true.
it's not
Yeah.
about like actually being like held down. Like it's you just are
So you don't have the
manipulated.
agency to say no.
kind of, yeah.
That's ridiculous. Why don't you have the agency to say no?
I think that as a
get
society, we
violent.
have a kind of culture where, like, I know bad things. Like, I have, there's bad outcomes when you do that. And, like, society has, like, literally conditioned women to be more okay and more susceptible to that.
So this is perfect. So this leads right into my point, which is that if we as a society use shame tactics or open tactics for what we want to see as the outcome in society, then you're actually making my point for me, which is that you feel like society rewards these high pressure tactics. And what I'm saying is that we as a society should not reward women for promiscuity. We should reward them for saying no, and so they'll say no more. This way, in this particular way, both sides win, right? So the whole goal is to bring down promiscuity.
I think that the focus should be shifted a little bit, not towards the people that fall victim to
That are
towards this.
responsible, the people that are responsible.
Men and women.
Both parties are responsible is the thing.
No, not
A
really.
man is
because
responsible
women,
for
they're
his
not,
body
They're
count.
not. Hang on. Let me just correct this, and then I'll let you speak. They're not responsible. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, not men. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. They've always been the gatekeepers of sex, and they always will. Most men were not even able to procreate. Historically, only a small percentage of them were, because women are the gatekeepers of sex. So no, both parties are not responsible. One party is really responsible.
Well, what you're saying is I need to have an ability to say no to someone.
Yes.
A guy in my same position, he's saying yes. Why is
So,
no one talking about him
What does
saying
that have
yes?
to do with
He's saying
you
yes,
saying
yes,
no?
yes
Stop
every single
using
time.
So
Stop using the female martial art, what about the mendo, and instead use your own form of argumentation and say this is a bad behavior in women without sourcing what about men.
What's your
Talk
body
about
count?
Take
the behavior of women for a
responsibility.
minute.
But can I give the okay?
What's your body count?
Can I
Mine?
just
Yeah.
Let's say it was 4 million. What would that have to do with my point?
That's like dangerous and like that. I don't think that's okay. Like I don't think that's good for you. Like I think
Well, you
that
just got done saying nobody even has responsibility for it. It's not even a big deal. Now it's not okay if mine's 4 million?
No, I'm saying that like it does matter. I'm saying that I agree with you that no one should be as promiscuous as they want. But I'm just saying when it's at 4 million, it's kind
Yeah.
of
He was being facetious.
I
and-
know.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a
But if it's
point
at
to you,
100,
which is
if it's
that
at 100,
regardless of how high
don't
it
be
is, nowhere near as
condescending.
high as yours, but regardless of how high it is, it wouldn't really matter to the point. The point is that women are the gatekeeper of sex, and simps who say, I don't care about how many sexual partners you've had,
No, I said I don't
actually
wanna know.
add to the problem of promiscuity in society. That's it. So what I'm saying is that these things follow each other.
I was saying I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. That's all.
Yeah, I know, but we need you
But-
to say you do want to know, because
Yeah.
that's part of the problem that you don't.
I don't want to know.
but also to her point,
That's my
like
take.
take the scenario of like earlier you guys said that men are stronger than women, right? Like
Yes.
physically.
Yes.
So if you're in a situation where, say you're on like a first Tinder date, let's just put the scenario out there. You've never met this man. It's like a hookup type thing. You kind of don't want to hook up with him, but a man is stronger. So if you're going to say no,
Sorry, go on.
if you're going to say no and a man is over you being like, well, I want to do this, as a woman, because we are technically weaker than men, like physically, it is scary to say no because a man can literally take over you and be like, I'm going to do this anyway.
Can I respond to that? Can I
That's
just ask
okay.
a quick
So
question?
wait,
let's
hang on.
let's
I
let Andrew
gotta
go.
ask. I gotta ask this real quick.
Go ahead.
What you're actually saying there is the reason that you say yes to a man being persistent about sex is because you're afraid that he's going to SA you.
Sometimes,
if
yes.
yeah, but that's ridiculous.
Why?
Clearly,
It's
well,
not
because
ridiculous.
clearly you have tons and tons of sexual suitors, and you must say no to them all the time.
What?
You can not be around
What do you,
men
no,
that-
no, don't do the what. That just answer to what I'm saying.
That's not even
Clear.
anything
Do you
I
have a
said.
ton of sexual suitors? Yes or no?
No.
You don't?
No.
No. Okay. So you're the one woman on planet Earth who
Okay.
doesn't have a lot of men who are in your DMs, things like this, who are trying to pursue some kind of relationship with you.
Okay, so what's your point?
That you
okay,
can have
so
sex
you
with a lot of
do,
people.
and you just lied to me, right?
Your point is that I could message a man and say I want to have sex with you. That is true.
No,
But
my
that
point
doesn't-
is to say that you obviously, like most women who are online and have some kind of online presence, are probably propositioned tons and tons of times by men all the time. And you have some kind of way in which you probably politely rebuff them and don't even put yourself in that situation,
Okay.
correct?
Can I talk
Correct.
about that? It's actually crazy because I, for a really, 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 really long time, would just not ever be alone with a man that I didn't want to have sex with, just
Yeah.
in case, so I would never have to say no. Tried it once. Hissy fit. Yelling at me. He yelled at me to get out. After talking
Yeah.
about blue balls, talking about all of this. Like,
So he didn't SA you? He just told you to get out?
I don't like being, I'm just saying men like that
You
need
don't
to
like, I
take
mean, you
some
may not like
accountability.
it, right? But this goes to a whole different point than if I said no, I would be SA'd. It sounds like you said no and he threw you out. That's a whole different thing, right?
My point is not that the number of bodies you have equals the amount of time you were SA'd. My point is that people get scared to say no because there can be consequences, and the severity of those consequences.
But the answer for fear shouldn't
Can I
be
please
sex,
have a
or
moment?
you should. There's so many ways you. I don't subscribe to anything of like, well, I felt the pressure, so I tell my sisters and my nieces that it's like yeah, he's gonna call you a bitch or something, but like you don't. The answer isn't just going along with whatever they want.
I am so sick and tired of women not taking responsibility for their own actions.
For sexual assault?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll
period.
tell you exactly why. It is 100% completely preventable. You don't
Is
show
it?
up. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And here's why.
Can you talk about all the women in
I
foreign
can't-
countries that are literally being forced against their will to have sex with men?
Yeah.
Well,
that
are we
their fault?
talking about foreign countries right now? Or are we talking
Is that
about
their
the
fault?
Are we
demographic
talking
we're
about
part
the-
of, which is here in
literally-
the United States?
I'm
Thank
talking
you.
to her,
Let's
not
talk about, thank you, Andrew. We're talking about here. And this is what I will say.
Are you taking a break back there or? Yeah. Oh, okay.
You good with me going?
Huh?
You good with me going?
Yeah. I just wasn't sure.
I think that, and remember we were saying like radical feminism. I think Camille Paglia says it really well. Women have been painting themselves to be these really small, wholesome, soft creatures that can't say no. I'm so tired of these weak women. I can't say that. SA is 100% preventable. And
No, it's
here's
not.
how, yes, it is.
Okay.
And here's how. You don't put yourself in a situation to be SA'd. You
Okay.
don't go into a party where there's a majority men, where you are under the influence and you are taking drugs and you're drinking, where you have the chance to be drugged. Men have,
I'm not
men
talking
drug
about
women.
drinking.
They drug you, whatever it is.
So that's preventable?
You can, 1,000%. You don't wear your nicest mink coat in the ghettos because you know for a fact there's a chance of you getting robbed. You
Okay.
don't display yourself in a place where you know that men that are under the influence will take advantage of you. You can 100% say no. Take responsibility for yourself.
Okay, so if I want to go to a bar in sweats and a hoodie and I go to a bar just to have fun with my girlfriends, I'm allowing men to take advantage of me?
No.
That's what you just said.
No, I'm saying that
It
it's
really
completely
is.
Well,
preventable.
I think the problem that she made with her point, which unfortunately because
There's a
people
lot of
become very
levels.
pedantic and they don't go to the point that's being made. They go to the pedantry around it. So let's not just say, we won't say all then. We'll just, not as a monolith. Not every one of them's preventable.
Right.
Right? But what she's saying is, the heart of what she's saying is that most of this is preventable by using common sense. Wouldn't that be a more accurate way of putting that?
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you. That's what I'm saying.
And two things can be
I think
true
it's
at
very,
once.
I think it's very easy to say there's no such thing as there's no absolute truth to anything. There is always an outlier. Yes. So you going to a bar and hanging out with your friends in sweats, I highly doubt a man's going to look at you and want to drug you, but
Okay.
they may, and they may look at you and they may drug you, and that is one of those circumstances that you cannot prevent at all. There is a smart way of handling your drink and being conscious of your environment. But yes, the vast majority of sexual assault is 100% preventable.
Okay. Period.
Thank you, Andrew.
I actually agree with what you're saying. You shouldn't put yourself in those situations, but to like circle back right to the beginning, you gave a lot of excuses for like, she's 19, she's 19, she's
Yeah,
19.
idiot.
Well, so think about it. When you were
Idiot is
19,
crazy.
you go to house parties, you do these dumb, stupid things.
Yeah.
You get fake IDs, you go to bars, and it's easy to be an Andrew or myself and say like, well, looking back, I was that guy who was a drunk
Yeah.
asshole idiot pressuring girls. Like, come on, just touch it. I've been that guy. And that's what I was trying to say with my answer about body counts, Andrew, is that I'm not simping. I'm just saying that I'm a little realistic of how young people behave and how I used to behave and how these things are. You can have a perspective of that. Do I think we should
Well,
shame
can
them?
I explain why I think it's simping?
Yeah, you can in a second. You can in a
Sure.
second.
You're
Yeah.
always going
Let me
there,
finish.
Andrew.
Or sorry, I didn't mean like let me finish. I just meant let me finish.
No,
and
you're,
then, yes,
you're fine.
respond.
I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to give you an explanation when you're ready.
Right. Now, I'm trying to be realistic that I was definitely part of that problem while also having some grace of my past self of being like, when you're young, you don't care.
You don't.
A lot of these conversations young people don't even care about. They're like, why are they talking about this? You're just young. You just do young, stupid people shit. And now that I'm my age, I go, yeah, your future self's going to be pretty upset that you did OnlyFans. Your future self is going to be very upset that you made the decisions you made with boyfriends and girlfriends and parties and things like that. It's easy for 40-year-old Jeff to sit here. The people that vote no on abortion generally are married, nice people who believe that they're babies. They're not thinking about when they were 18 and they just wanted
Right.
to fuck their girlfriend. So with all my answers, I'm simply just trying to have some grace about how young people think about things.
Well, the reason that this
Thank
is
you,
so...
Doc. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Andrew.
The reason this is such simp-like behavior
Okay.
because what's really going on is you're demonstrating that there could be a standard for you, and the standard for you is like when you're young and you're crazy, you had a lot of sex and you were promiscuous and this type of thing, right? Okay, and so you apply that to
And I'm ashamed of it.
women as well. And so you say, well, if that was true of me, then it would be hypocritical for me to say to women, hey, you had a lot of sex and this type of thing when you were younger too. But it's not actually a hypocrisy because men and women value different things in each other. Men value chastity of women, and women don't really value the chastity of men.
Right.
And so what ends up happening is you really push in and you create kind of a problem when you say that we're interchangeable widgets this way. We're really not, and that's what makes it simp-like behavior.
Okay. Well, I don't like the term simp-like behavior, but your explanation is. I agree with your explanation. The title is
But-
pretty fucking immature. Simp-like behavior.
Andrew, I think you'll be very
Well, I
kind
mean,
at
I
your
think it
parties.
just
I don't think you'd
captures
put that in one of
something
your
that people-
books. Simp-like behavior.
Yeah, I think it just kind of captures a thing which most people can grasp. And so if you're a skilled debater, one of the things that you want to do is bring the idea to the level that people can understand it the best way possible. When I say simp, nobody's confused by what that means. And when I say simp-like behavior, it means behavior which leads to men simping.
Thank you.
Word?
That was really good, Andrew.
Wasn't.
Word.
And you would be very fun at dinner parties.
That was really good, Andrew.
I think you and Andrew should get married.
I don't think Andrew would like you at all. I think that you are really far off on that.
I like him. He doesn't have to like me, but I like him.
Andrew, what do you think of her?
I don't like her a bit. I think she's completely disingenuous, and I think that the entirety of this conversation, she's taken whichever side she thinks will get her the most amount of attention.
Andrew.
And right now, she feels like she's on the winning side, which is, of course, me, because I'm awesome. And
I
so she's
do.
simping as well.
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
Okay.